So I'm going to show you guys how to do what's called the seller's net sheet. You can also estimate your buyer's closing costs and that with it too. The one I've been using lately is through Lighthouse. So if you go to lighthousetitle.net, go up here to services and resources, go to tools, and then that's where we'll be able to find the calculator. So if you scroll down, they've got a bunch of things here that we can use. They have Con Ed classes, direct mailer, marketing campaign stuff. Steven's getting more info on that. But if you scroll down here to quotes, go down to net sheet calculator. It's going to make you create an account, which I already have. So go ahead and create one, then get logged in. And then it'll save all of your sheets so you can come back and edit them later, because you're going to probably, in most cases, make multiple edits to them, especially if you have multiple offers. Once we get logged in, it's going to take you to this sheet right here. I always change the location up here in the top left to the Hastings office. I do think that they get notified when you do run quotes like this, because I've had Becky or Darcy reach out and ask questions on it because their calculator is relatively new compared to some of the other ones. So that way, in case they have any questions, Hastings knows me and they can reach out. So this is just going to take you through basic information on the home, and you could go right through and fill everything out and click calculate, but I'm going to take you through and show you kind of all the features. And what I'm going to do here is come up here to multiple offer, and it'll allow you to do 3 different variations at one time. And I will do this when I am going to a listing appointment, especially if the home is sight unseen. I will, my first offer here, this is like worst case scenario, the home value. Offer number 2 is more what I think based off what I've seen from the previous listing, what the sellers told me. The sale price should be based off my CMA and those rough descriptions. And then 3 is kind of, best case scenario. But then once I actually see the home and see when the updates were done and see the actual condition, then I can refine these numbers more there while I'm in person, or later on if need be, if we're running short on time, then I'll narrow this down based off the CMA once I see the home. Or you use it when you've got multiple offers on a home. You can break each offer down right here with concessions even too, and see what the best bottom line is going to be. That's not always the best offer. So first thing first, this first line is the estimated closing date. I'm just going to put 4 weeks out. We'll put February 3rd on all of them. I will use just some rough numbers here. So let's say the sale price is $374,900. And let's say this one is going to be, let's go up to 380. And then this one over here, we'll do 374.9 as well, but I'll change something. So let's say the mortgage balance is $210,000. In most cases, the seller is going to pay for their own title costs, so you don't have to change anything here. Keep everything as enhanced. Closing fee just went up to $325. Those will automatically populate. Those are Lighthouse's fees. Commission, whether it's a fixed dollar amount or percentage, then put that in here. Seller name. How about this? Sally the seller. All right. That's pretty basic information, but if you've been paying attention, you're probably wondering, what about the broker fee? What about any seller's concessions? What about taxes? So if we go down here to more fees, click that, that's where all that'll be. So let's say property taxes are $2,800 per year. The only bad thing about this calculator is it won't take property taxes in consideration, like some of the other ones that I used to use, like ATA's calculator. You'd input the yearly estimated taxes, and then it would prorate them based on your closing date. The Lighthouse is working on it, but they haven't done it or updated it yet. So whatever you put in here is going to be coming off the seller's bottom line, which is fine. It's just going to give them really conservative numbers. If you wanted to, you could do the math and figure out, if they're only own the property for 30 days in the month or the year of 2023, you could, based on their property taxes, figure that out, put that number in here. Otherwise, I put the full amount in here, explain to the client, like the last couple of listing appointments I've done, I've said, I have the full amount of taxes in here. However, you're going to get a credit back for some of these. It's just not calculating on the net sheet right now. So whatever that number is, they're going to see a little bit of increase there because they're going to get that credit back because they're not paying the full amount of taxes like it shows on this sheet. If there's any special assessments on the properties, condo fees, put those in. This is where, down here at the bottom under miscellaneous charges, where I would put broker fee, add charge, and I'll add it to all three. Now let's say one of these offers, or two of them, have concessions that they need. So let's say I'm just going to label it as concessions and add the charge. But as you can see, I didn't put a dollar amount in, and it put 0 across the board. I can go in here and change each individual column. So let's say this first offer, they needed 3% in concessions, and that's roughly $11,000 on this price point. Let's see what sales prices were. So let's say this one needed, we'll do on this one. So these ones needed 1.5%. These ones needed 3. This one needed none. We've got our fee in there, and that should be pretty much it. And then we'll go down here to calculate. And then this will bring up the full sheet. And it's just like the title sheets that you'll see at closing, very similar. It lists out all the seller credits and then all of the charges. Right down here, cash to the seller or from. If it's a positive amount, it goes to the seller. If it's negative, it comes from. And then you can see right here, purely based off the financials, which is the better offer. But that's not always the case. You have to look at other things too. But if we're looking purely bottom line, this is where it's at. So you can see that first offer, they gave a full price, $374,900, but they needed 1.5% in concessions, which gave the sellers a bottom line of $128,000. Offer number 2 was a little bit higher, but they needed more in concessions, nets them $127,000. Third offer is full price, no concessions, and they net $133,000. And this is where you can use it to help explain to your seller, the difference between the offers financially, because in most cases, that's what it boils down to, unless one of these is just from a shit lender, or it's maybe FHA versus conventional. Those are things to consider, but that is how to run a net sheet that you guys can do. And you can also do it too for a buyer. So if you go down here in the bottom, definitely always save it, but then you can also export it as PDF or print it. And then if you need to go back and you want to change some numbers, come down here, click edit, and you can edit it as well.